People say freedom is never free. But what if I told you that in a few places around the world, freedom isn't just something you can buy, it's far cheaper than you ever imagined. Cheap enough that sometimes it costs no more than a home renovation, or even the luxury SUV you drive on weekends. This is the story of 5 countries opening their doors to anyone who wants a life that is wider, calmer, freer. Powerful passports that unlock borders without visa lines. Low-tax systems that let you keep more of what you earn. No residency requirements, meaning you don't need to move or live there to qualify. And best of all, these programs are often processed faster than renewing a driver's license in the US. Even more shocking, the cost of obtaining citizenship in these countries is sometimes 1/10 the price of an average American home, or even less than a single kitchen remodel many families pay for every year. This isn't a loophole. It isn't a gray area document. This is a legal pathway built to attract investment and in return give you a life with fewer borders. And the most surprising part, you don't need to be a millionaire. You just need to know which countries are opening their doors to you. So, buckle up. Because what comes next is a journey through 5 places where freedom isn't just a dream, it's an investment that's finally within reach. If you're watching this right now, it means something inside you is already reaching for more freedom, more opportunity, and a future you can shape with your own hands. Most people never think beyond the borders they were born into, but you're here exploring a world much bigger than the one you started in. Before we dive deeper, just a small favor: tap the like button so YouTube knows this is the kind of knowledge worth sharing, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you never miss another chance to unlock a new path to freedom. All right, let's begin. Number 5, Egypt, a land where civilization began, where the Nile carved its way through 5,000 years of history, and where the shadow of the pyramids still stretches across the desert, as if reminding the world that greatness doesn't fade, it simply evolves. And today, Egypt is doing something no ancient pharaoh could have imagined, offering one of the cheapest citizenship-by-investment programs in the entire Arab world. For a $250,000 donation, or a $300,000 real estate purchase, or even a refundable $500,000 bank deposit, you can unlock a passport that opens travel to 70+ countries. To put that into perspective, and yes, this part always surprises people, the donation route costs less than the price of a single parking spot in Manhattan. Not an apartment, just a parking space. The best part, no residency requirement. You don't have to relocate, you don't have to learn Arabic overnight, and you definitely don't have to survive Cairo traffic to qualify. The entire process usually wraps up in 6 to 9 months faster than many routine legal procedures in the US. But the real story is what comes after you get the passport. Egypt is a country with 110 million consumers, a massive emerging market, and one of the most strategic geographic positions on Earth, bridging Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. For entrepreneurs, that's not a passport. That's a gateway. And the cost of living. This is where Egypt becomes truly astonishing. A modern 1-bedroom apartment in a good neighborhood of Cairo can cost $200 to $350 per month. A full restaurant meal, bread salad, meat, tea, often costs $3 to $6. A month of groceries for a single person sits around $80 to $120. Taxi rides across the city rarely exceed $2 to $4, and a cup of Egyptian coffee costs less than $1. Even private healthcare is shockingly affordable, with many consultations priced between $10 and $25. In a world where many Americans struggle just to pay utility bills, Egypt offers an entire lifestyle for a fraction of the price. And that lifestyle is something unique, a blend of ancient and modern, that exists nowhere else. Morning views of the Sphinx, evenings at the Nile Corniche, And Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks, sitting just minutes away from temples older than most countries on Earth. It's chaotic, it's vibrant, it's loud, it's alive, and it's surprisingly comfortable when your money stretches this far. Egypt is not trying to compete with Europe's polished streets or the Caribbean's quiet beaches. It offers something entirely different, something deeper. A chance to live affordably, invest wisely, and anchor yourself in a country whose story began long before ours and will continue long after. Egypt isn't selling a document. Egypt is selling you the chance to become part of history. Number 4, Antigua and Barbuda, a twin-island nation in the heart of the Caribbean, where turquoise water curls around white sand beaches, palm trees sway in warm trade winds, and time itself seems to slow down just enough for you to breathe again. If Egypt was the gateway to history, Antigua and Barbuda is the gateway to a quieter, softer life, one that welcomes not just you, but your entire family. Antigua is famous for one thing: 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. And honestly, that's all the explanation most people need. But the country takes it one step further, offering one of the most family-friendly, stress-free citizenship-by-investment programs in the world. For a $230,000 donation or a $300,000 real estate purchase, you gain access to a passport that unlocks 140-plus destinations from the UK to the Schengen area. But here's the part that makes nearly everyone smile: the residency requirement is just 5 days, every 5 years. Yes, the government literally asks you to drop by once in a while, the equivalent of a mini vacation that fits neatly between 2 beach naps and a sunset cocktail. It's the least demanding residency rule on Earth, and it fits perfectly with the island's relaxed Caribbean charm. Your application is typically processed in 6 to 9 months, no interviews, no stress, no relocating your entire life. And unlike many programs that charge extra for every additional child, as if you're ordering off a menu, Antigua embraces families. Dependent children, dependent grandparents. Everyone can be included under one application, making this one of the most generous family packages in the Caribbean. But beyond the paperwork, the true magic of Antigua is how it feels. This is a country where the mornings smell like sea salt, where the afternoons move at the pace of a steel drum melody, and where safety isn't a privilege, it's a norm. Crime is low, the locals are warm, and the islands maintain a sense of authenticity often lost in more commercialized Caribbean destinations. There are no towering tourist traps blocking the horizon. Just open skies, long, quiet beaches, and a culture built around kindness and community. For retirees, Antigua offers peace. For families, it offers safety. For entrepreneurs, it offers global mobility without the weight of high taxes or high expectations. The cost of living is moderate compared to other island nations. Groceries, services, and transportation remain accessible, especially for those coming from the US, Canada, or Europe. And healthcare, though simple, is reliable and continually improving, supported in part by the same investment programs that bring new citizens to its shores. Antigua and Barbuda isn't trying to impress you with skyscrapers or massive economic zones. Its beauty lies in its simplicity, in its turquoise water, its gentle pace, its laughter, its ease. You don't move here to run faster. You move here to feel light again. If citizenships were purchased based on emotion rather than paperwork, Antigua would be the tropical passport people fall in love with at first sight. Or as the island seems to whisper to every new investor who arrives, if you buy a passport with your heart, Antigua is paradise in the shape of one. Number 3, Grenada. They call it the Spice Island, and the moment you arrive, the air greets you before the people do a warm blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cocoa, drifting through quiet hills and forested valleys. Grenada doesn't rush you. It slows your heartbeat, softens your thoughts, and wraps you in a gentle Caribbean calm that feels almost timeless. But behind this peaceful surface lies one of the most strategically valuable passports in the world. Grenada's Citizenship-by-Investment program is refreshingly straightforward: a $235,000 donation or a $270,000 investment in approved real estate. There is no residency requirement, no expectation that you relocate, and no need to uproot your life. And after roughly 8 months, you receive a passport granting access to 145+ countries, including the UK. The entire Schengen zone, Singapore, and even China, a privilege rarely found among small island nations. But the true power of Grenada's passport isn't just in its travel freedom. It lies in a treaty that reshapes everything: the US E2 investor visa. Grenada is the only Caribbean country whose citizens qualify for this path, allowing you to live and work in the United States by investing in an American business. This isn't just immigration, it's strategy. You're not buying a passport, you're opening a door to America without becoming an American taxpayer. For entrepreneurs and investors who want connection without burden, proximity without limitation, the E2 is a lifeline. It allows you to choose your business, your level of involvement, and your lifestyle, all without the heavy global taxation that comes with a US green card. Few countries on Earth offer this combination of mobility and financial flexibility. Life on the ground in Grenada is equally appealing. Costs are modest for an island nation. Fresh produce is abundant, rents outside resort zones remain accessible, and transportation is simple and inexpensive. The community is warm, the pace is slow, and everything feels touched by the scent of the island's spices. It's a place where stress dissolves naturally, replaced by an easy, steady rhythm of life. Grenada also maintains a unique diplomatic balance. With strong ties to China, its passport opens doors that many Caribbean neighbors can't. Simultaneously, visa access across Europe gives Grenadian citizens a rare east-west mobility advantage. In a world defined by geopolitical tension, this little island quietly sits in the middle, benefiting from both sides. And that is Grenada's essence: a peaceful island, fragrant and slow, yet holding one of the most globally strategic tools a non-millionaire investor can access. It doesn't impress you with size. It impresses you with leverage. Grenada may be small, but the opportunities it offers are far larger than its place on the map. Number 2, Turkey. Straddling 2 continents and wrapped in centuries of empires, Turkey is a place where opposites don't collide, they blend. Istanbul stands at the center of this fusion, a city where the call to prayer echoes past the Galata Tower, where ferries glide across the Bosphorus, and where every street feels like a bridge between East and West, ancient and modern chaos and harmony. And in the middle of this living tapestry, Turkey offers one of the most powerful and respected citizenship-by-investment programs of any G20 nation. The pathway is clear and grounded in real, tangible investment. A $400,000 real estate purchase or a $500,000 deposit in a Turkish bank or investment fund. There is no requirement to live in Turkey, no demand for residency days, no forced relocation. Within 3 to 6 months, your application can be approved, one of the fastest timelines among major economies. And while other countries offer passports for donations or minimal investment, Turkey offers something more secure: equity. As investors like to say, you're not spending money, you're reallocating it. Because when you buy property in Turkey, you're placing your capital into one of the fastest-growing real estate markets in the world. Istanbul's skyline expands every year. Coastal cities like Antalya attract millions of foreign buyers, and the rental market thrives thanks to tourism and population demand. It's rare for a citizenship program to also serve as a highly competitive investment, but Turkey's does exactly that. A Turkish passport grants access to 110+ countries, but the deeper value lies in what life in Turkey feels like. This is the warmth of the Mediterranean: long summers, slow dinners, olives, seafood, and sunsets that turn the sky gold. This is the richness of culture: bazaars, mosques, ancient ruins, art music, and a hospitality so deep it feels woven into the national DNA. And this is the convenience of a major economy: strong healthcare, advanced infrastructure, world-class hospitals, high-speed internet airports that connect to every corner of the planet. Turkey's healthcare system is especially noteworthy. It's modern, affordable, and internationally respected. Medical tourism is booming not because it's cheap, but because the quality stands shoulder to shoulder with Western systems at a fraction of the price. For a family seeking stability, comfort, and accessible care, this is a major advantage few countries in the region can match. Daily life in Turkey is a blend of simplicity and vibrancy: morning tea by the Bosphorus, bustling markets filled with spices and textiles, evenings in lively cafes, and weekends by the turquoise waters of the Aegean or Mediterranean. It is a country where life feels full of color, full of motion, full of possibility. And that is the essence of Turkey's citizenship program. It's not just a passport. It's not just an investment. It's a transition into a lifestyle that balances the energy of a rising economy with the soul of a civilization thousands of years old. Turkey isn't selling citizenship. Turkey is selling a new rhythm of life. Number 1, Dominica. Deep in the Eastern Caribbean lies an island unlike any of its neighbors, untouched, unpolished, and unapologetically natural. Dominica isn't the Caribbean of glossy postcards and all-inclusive resorts. It's the Caribbean of waterfalls crashing into emerald pools, of rainforests so dense they breathe with the wind of volcanic peaks rising through morning mist. They call it the Nature Island, and the moment you see it, you understand why every inch feels alive. But Dominica isn't just beautiful. It is home to the most trusted, most affordable, and most respected citizenship-by-investment program in the world. With an investment of around $200,000, you can secure a second citizenship without ever needing to live on the island. There is no residency requirement, no mandatory visits, no hidden expectations. And with processing times of 4 to 6 months, it is one of the fastest legitimate paths to global mobility. Your Dominica passport opens doors to 140-plus countries, including the UK and the entire Schengen zone. Remarkable freedom from such a small, quiet nation. But what truly sets Dominica apart isn't the price or even the travel freedom. It's trust. While many citizenship programs come and go, Dominica has spent 3 decades building a reputation for integrity, transparency, and some of the strongest due diligence checks in the Caribbean. This isn't a shortcut program. It's a respected institution that banks, governments, and corporations around the world recognize and rely on. And despite its global credibility, Dominica remains surprisingly accessible, an opportunity within reach for middle-class families, entrepreneurs, and retirees who want a safety net without spending millions. It is in many ways the most democratic CBI program, affordable, stable, ethical, and built to last. Life in Dominica feels different from other islands. There are no mega resorts blocking ocean views, no crowds rushing for the perfect Instagram shot. Instead, you'll find small coastal villages where fishermen pull nets at sunrise hot springs hidden in the jungle, and hiking trails that lead to boiling lakes, black sand beaches, and cloud-covered summits. Everything feels quiet, grounded, and real, a place where the world finally slows down long enough for you to hear yourself think. And that is the essence of Dominica's citizenship. It's not flashy. It's not loud. It doesn't need marketing slogans or extravagant promises. Dominica offers something far more meaningful: a stable, affordable, trustworthy second home wrapped in the serenity of untouched nature. Other countries try to impress you with luxury. Dominica impresses you with honesty in its landscapes, in its people, and in its program. Dominica is not trying to impress. It simply gets everything right. 5 countries, 5 pathways to freedom. Each nation on this list is more than a point on a map. It is an escape hatch, a choice, an opportunity to rewrite a new chapter of your life. From the ancient grandeur of Egypt, the family-friendly warmth of Antigua and Barbuda, to the strategic strength of Grenada, the East meets West rhythm of Turkey, and the untouched honesty of Dominica, every passport offers a different kind of freedom. The freedom to move, the freedom to build, the freedom to live life on your own terms. What matters most isn't which country you choose, but the realization that the world is not as expensive or unreachable as you once believed. Opportunity isn't reserved for millionaires. Sometimes real freedom sits only one courageous decision away. And now I want to ask you, if you could choose a second passport, which country would you choose? Leave your answer in the comments. Your response might become the inspiration for our next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon across new borders, on new journeys, and in a life with more freedom than you ever imagined.